allow the children.
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary politico. My ego now I'm more, I'm a do. My ego diary, Ayégun làwa mọ̀ làwọn tó jódodo. Ayégun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Ayégun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Ayégun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Ayégun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí. Ayégun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Máyégún diary politico. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Máyégún Live. Thank you very much for joining me. Dear Templars, the brethren in the temple of truth. I haven't read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. Like the broadcast. Share it. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell all of them that Máyégún today, Máyégún is live. And if you have done that already, thank you. So tonight, as usual, I have come with loads of goodies that we normally call the updates. So we will be taking them one after the other. The image you saw on your screen earlier, this image of this recharge card seller, his name is Bashiru Amadu. He was a recharge card seller that Bokohari appointed as a social media advisor, and is also one mofo that has a sort of a knack for his hatred, for the Igbos is legendary. And he never hides it, by the way. Now, is somebody who has been defaming, use that, libeling against just anything and anyone from the southeast part of Nigeria. This afternoon, there is a report that the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team, they have filed a defamation case against him. This was the mofo that came on a few days ago and tweeted that anyone and everyone that is asking for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, right, that person is, or that group of people, they are enemies of Nigeria. He called Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist. He called IPOB a terrorist organization. And as I was silently praying that, you know, somebody will pick that up. Indeed, Nnamdi Kanu's legal team picked that up. And now, it would have to actually prove where Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. Any crime committed by Nnamdi Kanu to be referred to as a terrorist, as well as any crime committed by the IPOB to be referred to a terrorist organization. And a failure to do that, it would have to cough out $1 billion. That is a defamation cost. Now, I think it is high time people start doing that, by the way. Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped by Bokohari's, terrorist regime. The regime that has been pardoning terrorists through an illegal, arrangement called Operation Safe Corridor. Under Bokohari, terrorists slaughtered. Boko Haram terrorists, Fulani terrorists, they have slaughtered over 180,000 Nigerians. And guess what? Not a single one of them has been put on trial. And if you dare call the Fulani terrorist, they will say you have a Fulani phobia. In fact, they will say any move to try to stop the advancement of the Fulani terrorists in the southern part of Nigeria is considered an attack on the northern Nigeria. Now you see these mofos that will defend all their terrorists and all the criminal, treasonable attacks on Nigeria, on the Nigerian economy, on the Nigerian people. They can easily point the fingers, at other people and accuse them of the same thing they are actually doing. There is no court in Nigeria that has proven any case against Nnamdi Kanu. There is no court in Nigeria that has ruled that the IPOB has committed any terrorist act in Nigeria. Rather, it's been the IPOB that has won cases against Nigeria. You see, Bokohari's murderous regime proscribed IPOB in Nigeria simply because they thought that by labeling the IPOB that are demanding for the for the peaceful breakup of that contraption, by labeling them IPOB, will give them the license to kill, which they have been using, and somehow they have been indicted of it many times. So they proscribed the IPOB for demanding for a referendum to break away from Nigeria. However, the ECOWAS court has ruled against Nigeria, right? The United States of America's government, they have also exonerated the IPOB of being anything or having anything in common with a terrorist. Rather, the Fulani terrorist, which is believed to be the fourth deadliest terror group in the whole world, continue to enjoy a very warm, cordial patronage from the Bokohari's terrorist government in Nigeria. Bokohari's government brags that they have pardoned. Not only pardoned, they have also rehabilitated more than 200 murderous terrorists, Boko Haram terrorists, Fulani terrorists, without a single one of them actually facing any courts or, being tried in any courts in Nigeria. Till today, Nnamdi Kanu defeated the same Bokohari's government, even before Bokohari left. Bokohari's government was defeated by Nnamdi Kanu in their own courts, that it was acquitted and discharged of any charges brought upon him by Bokohari's government. Rather, Malamun decided to use the same corrupt system to ask for the stay of execution. Stay of execution meaning they were ashamed to let Nnamdi Kanu go because they already promised or bragged to their Fulani, their Fulani population and the Hausa population in northern Nigeria that they captured Nnamdi Kanu, and that was supposed to be the end of their poverty or the end of their insecurity in northern Nigeria, but it never was the end. Rather, Operation Safe Corridor, the legal catch and release system put in place by Bokohari's murderous regime, continue to release dangerous terrorists, dangerous real Boko Haram Fulani terrorists into the wild. Not only that, they were paying them huge amount of money. They are protecting them, all because they claim that the terrorists swore by the Holy Quran that they will never do it again. Mind you, they have captured and released maybe, because according to them, some of these terrorists also repented. They surrendered. Now, these guys said and claimed that these murderous animals in northern Nigeria who continue to hold Nigeria to ransom. Bokohari's regime claimed that these repentant terrorists, over 200,000 of them, they swore by Holy Quran that they will not do it again. Now, that is why you see this mofo calling the IPOB terrorist or calling Nnamdi Kanu terrorist is typical of these northern criminals. It is the same way that they will tell you that the southern Nigeria is more corrupt. But when you begin to take a look at those who have depleted the resources of Nigeria, those who have looted Nigeria like tomorrow, no day, they've always been the northern, these northern blokes, these criminals from northern Nigeria. If you take a look at those who have been robbing people of their hard-earned money in Nigeria, scamming people locally in Nigeria. They've been these northerners. But somehow, over time, they have kind of made it like a thing to say the southerners have been the scammers, the southerners, they have been the fraudsters, the southerners, they have been the most corrupt, when indeed, record fact for facts, these northerners, these northern mofos, these parasites, these leeches that cannot stay on their own, continue to loot Nigeria, destroy Nigeria, and then point the fingers at a different direction. So if the Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers really mean business, as I think they do, right? This is one lunatic that you can use as a scapegoat. Yeah, they have a corrupt legal system. But yeah, let him actually stand to prove to you that indeed what said their court couldn't prove, he has a proof of that. The same court that couldn't convict Nnamdi Kanu, the same court that couldn't really get the IPOB guilty of any crime. Maybe this mofo, this this criminal himself, and I call him a criminal because there's evidence of that. After serving Bokohari for 8 years, this Olori Koolu guy actually fraudulently inserted himself in one of the Ministry of the Ministry of Petroleum or so in Nigeria as a civil servant. Yeah, he did. So if he wasn't outed, this guy was being paid salary for a whole year. He was Bokohari's special advisor on social media. One. Then on the other hand, a year before the end of the term of Bokohari, right? This guy was drawing salary from the Ministry of Petroleum in Nigeria as like a civil servant. Yeah? So, and then he got outed. He was drawing 2 salaries from Nigeria, or he can easily point fingers and tell you that we northerners are not fraudsters. The southerners are the ones. And see, tonight, I also have something to share with you. Why the EFCC is more interested in breaking into homes in southern Nigeria and not in northern Nigeria, when in actual fact, the people that are synonymous, the real region with the with the first class certificates in money laundering through their bureau de change in Nigeria, these are the northerners. Well, anyway, we'll come back to that. So yeah, that's the first picture. Another clown is this mofo. I don't know where he lives or which of the sewage he kind of crawled out from in London. Another Ronuku of London, Yoruba Ponu of London. You saw those ones that believes that they have the right to live in another person's country and at the same time maybe even enjoy all the privileges. But when it comes to the Ronukus of Nigeria or the Thiefnubu of this world, then they will begin to tell you that they are Ronu or Ponu. This, this clown, I'll call him a clown. This particular clown has made a video. According to him, it is to return the stolen shoes of Kemi Badenoch's brother. You remember the story of Kemi Badenoch's brother, that the Nigerian police stole his shoes, his wristwatch, right? That Kemi said last year. Now that clown in purple went to the shop in London, bought some pair of shoes, bought 2 pair of shoes, and decided to video himself. Now, returning the shoes to them at the number 10 in London, Downing Street. He went there. He said, "I am returning these shoes to you. I want you to help me give these shoes to Kemi Badenoch, to give it to our brother, so that Kemi Badenoch can leave Nigeria alone." This emergency lover of Nigeria, because of Thiefnubu, they now love Nigeria. Meanwhile, if you flash back to 2-3 years ago, these mofos, they were shouting Yoruba nation, Yoruba nation. They are shouting Oduduwa Republic, Oduduwa Republic. But immediately the druggie, the drug dealer, the drug addict, Koolu, became the presidential candidate of APC, Ebekebe, they automatically became an emergency lover of Nigeria. And they will love Nigeria, by the way. They're going to love Nigeria for the next, for another 6 years, if Koolu lasts that long, okay? So they will love Nigeria. The moment a Yoruba man is no longer in charge of that contraption, then they will revert back to the status quo, where they will begin to shout Yoruba Nation, Oduduwa Republic. But for now, if you do not support the druggie, if you dare say anything that is, according to them, negative about the contraption, it is automatically believed that you are attacking Yoruba, and in fact, you are hating Nigeria. So they are the emergency lovers of Nigeria. They love Nigeria right now. If Nigerians are going through inflation or corruption or insecurity or and name it, it doesn't matter. A Yoruba man is depressed idiot, and all it deserves right now is our support. We must support him. You know, we must not join others to criticize a Yoruba man. Maybe later we can do that. But for now, Nigeria is our country. Let us love our country. The Mopos don't love Nigeria. They don't give a damn about Nigeria. None of them does, right? None of them actually like Nigeria. But it is because they are living in this delulu, kind of like a delusion. Sure you get. And you can see through it easily. You can. Because to them, they can compare all of the bad things. For example, if you talk about insecurity, for example, they will tell you that, you know, insecurity is not synonymous to Nigeria. There are knife crimes in the UK. Sure you get now, like there are people stabbing people in London. So if people are being killed by terrorists in Nigeria, it's not just Nigeria. Then they usually say, okay, more Nigerians have become poorer. They will say, there are poor people in London too. There are poor people in America. You know, people, there are homeless people in America. That's what they will tell you. Now, they will use all of this to remind you that whatever you are going through in that contraption is not new. But you will never see this Olori Bruku days, right? Say, okay, the same London, I'll be the same America. They have 24 hours electricity. They have, you know, running water. They have good roads. They have a rail system that is working. They have, you know, they have all these infrastructures that makes life better, right? And then when it comes to the economy, okay, so the inflation in the UK is somewhere around 3.5 to what have you percent. I think it was actually 3% or 3.5%. Unemployment in the UK is somewhere around 4% as well. In America, inflation in America is about 3-point-something%. If you know, unemployment in America is also like 4%. In Nigeria, they have minimum wage in okay, minimum wage in the UK is between 10 to 15 pounds. Minimum wage in America is almost the same as well, like between $15 to $20 an hour. Now they will use all of that as comparison. No. So when you tell them that, why can't, if you think there are crimes in America, there is crime in gun violence in America, knife crime in the UK, how come you cannot compare working system also? Like, and say, okay, Nigeria, where you have Boko Haram terrorists, where multitude of people have been kidnapped in 2024 alone, right? 2.3 trillion, million, 2.3 million Nigerians were kidnapped. 2.23 trillion naira was paid as ransom. We don't have that here. They don't have that in America. Abi? But they will say that because they are the emergency lovers of Nigeria. Bunch of Abrodian Ronukus, Abrodian Onus. So maybe all of you who have been robbed by the Nigerian police, maybe you can get the face of this lunatic, this clown, and possibly send him a message. He even look like a lunatic, by the way. I don't know, is it just me? You know, his facial expression looked like somebody who escaped from a loony house, you know. And there are many in London, by the way, frustrated sewage dwellers that the only cover they have is that they are far away from that contraption. If you take a look at his face, it looks like somebody who is unwell. Maybe it's just me, Sha, anyway. But it looks like a lunatic anyway. So that's the guy. So he went to a shop. He bought a pair of shoes to go and give to Kemi Badenoch. And if you have been robbed by the Nigerian police, yeah, if you have been robbed, maybe you should look for his old contact online. And he can maybe buy you everything they robbed from you back for you. This is what they are doing. And another lunatic called Reno Mokri. That one is also dancing like, you know, this, macabre, shameless dance as well. There are many. And oh my dear God, it is this social media. Emergency lovers of Nigeria. Thiefnubu is destroying Nigeria, and he will do it even more. Whatever you faced in 2024, 2025 is, in fact, whatever you faced in 2024 is a child's play to what you are going to face in 2025. So let's get started one by one then, all right? So there is a report that the NCC, I think, yeah, I even have the, what have you? So Nigerian Communication Commission, okay? So they released a statement to say everything you heard last year about the pending increase in tariff, which will cover the phone calls, the text messages, as well as what you call the data in Nigeria, internet, and what have you, will now go up by 50%. In reality, by the way, it is expected to be more than 50%. Okay. Now, in the UK, every year, we always have what is called the increase in our own tariff as well. In our phone, no, in our, yeah. What do you call that thing again? The price increase, right? We call it price increase. Okay. But that is their way of kind of like a balancing the cost of inflation on the side, and then maybe cost of production as well. Okay, so you're going to get like £1 increase, or some cases maybe £2. So on your broadband, you may have broadband bill, you may have like £2 increase. On your SIM card, apart from you that have maybe fixed contracts, right? On your SIM card, you may get like £1 increase, right? And maybe not on your phone, no, or maybe on your TV, okay? Your TV, because you know, when I was working for Sky, right? The busiest time of the year is always from February, okay? February of the year, that is when we always send out and say, well, the price is going to go up. So if you are paying, for example, if you are paying, let's say £70 for your TV, for your broadband, maybe for your landline, what else there again? So maybe for your phone, your SIM card. So we're going to tell you that there's going to be a price increase in February. So, but you do have a chance of calling in to, you know, to negotiate it, kind of, right? So if you are, there's no chance when you, for example, let's say you are paying £70, and then the price increase is going to go up by £35, 50%. That's impossible, right? But that is what you are about to have in that contraption with immediate effects. So right now, the cost of making calls in Nigeria is now going to go up by half. So if you are making if a minute call in Nigeria, for example, is 1 naira, so now it's going to be 1 naira 50 kobo. So if you are spending 10 naira to make a 10-minute call, so now you have to spend 15 naira. Okay. So if you are spending, for example, if you're spending 2,000 naira to have, I know I may not be correct with how much you're actually paying for your data and all that, but you have the idea, right? Because you see, Nigeria right now is in a very, very bad place economically. One of the horrible things about inflation is that it impoverishes the people. Okay? So if you are spending maybe 2,000 naira on 20 gigs, I mean a 20 gig data in Nigeria. So what happens is that your 20 gig may be 2,000 naira and it may just go up to 3,000 naira. But you see the consumption of it, you just realize that, normally I always use my 20 gig for, for like 2 weeks or maybe a month. Now you realize that even though the 20 gig is now going to be 3,000 naira, it may not even last you for a month. This is the hidden thing about it too. And according to, normally, right, people believe that the tariff going up shouldn't be this massive because the telecommunication companies, right, if they increase the tariff by 10%, for example, or 5% increase, they will still make profit. You get that now? Like they will still make profit. But it is not just about them. It is now about the new tax collector in town, Thiefnubu and his gang. They are mounting a never seen before tax deduction on these guys. Remember, Nigeria is a place where, like you, that you have to provide your own houses, you have to provide your own water, you have to provide your own electricity, you have to provide your own security, you have to provide your own everything, like a local government. These service providers too, they have to provide everything. When a liter of, compare this, so 9 years ago, a liter of diesel was sold for 180 naira or 87 naira. A liter of petroleum was sold for 97 naira. I know that sounded like a very long time ago. No, not that long time ago. Well, maybe it's now a long time anyway. Then when APC Ebekebe came in, a liter of diesel is sold for nearly 2,000 naira per liter. This was before the petrol part of it comes on board. A liter of diesel currently is being sold for around 1,600 naira per liter. Now, these guys have to fuel all of their power station, you go call them, their mast. Then they also have to provide security, private security that provides security for all of their equipment across Nigeria. In some areas where vandals, right, vandalizes their equipment and the rest, the whole burden of that is still on them. Now, the only thing Nigeria does is to tax and take money from them. And every year, it is always like they are not taking enough. They are seeing them as cash cows. But the thing is, whatever it is that the government is taking from them, even if you think it is for your own good, no, it's not. Now you they pay them. Okay? Let me give you an example, because this is going to be like a plus or minus, okay? MTN declares that they make profits before tax. So they make profits of 8 trillion naira in 20. This is an example. 8 trillion naira in 2022 before tax. And the government is going to come and say, with all the taxes that you are going to pay, we are going to take like 4.5 trillion of that money from you. Now they have their own, what do you call them, shareholders, because they also have to share profits to their shareholders and all that. So they have their target. So in 2024, we are targeting 5 trillion naira profit. And then this is going to be profits after tax. And the criminals in government that provided no security, no electricity, no infrastructure like good roads, no nothing. But they are ready to ask you, how much did you make this year? All of you combined, all of you, the telecommunication companies. So we have a profit of 13 trillion. Okay, we are taking 7 trillion from that, and you can keep 6. So the 7 trillion, which is coming from you, it's coming from all your phone calls, text messages, and the rest of that. Now, the good thing this could have done is if they collected the money and they are not using the money to buy themselves cars, okay, or buying themselves, houses and all of that abroad, sharing the money or looting the money among themselves, and they are leaving you with nothing. Because at the end of the day, you realize that your taxes that are supposed to go towards providing infrastructures for you, something that you can say, it is expensive to, I've been spending so much, we've been spending so much money, right, on data, on phone calls and the rest of that. And these telecommunication companies are just milking us. They're just making so much money from us. They have targets. Anything above or what have you, right? They work it out that if your criminal government will collect the money and not reinvest the money on real infrastructure like power, which everybody needs. So imagine if you have a company where you have to spend like 20 to 30% of your earnings on providing power to power your mast, providing security to protect them from vandals, then to also probably provide insurance for your workers because they can get kidnapped, that you have to pay ransoms and the rest of that. So imagine if the government provides security and then provide power, provide infrastructure like good roads and all of that. So imagine that, the ripple effect of that on you, the end users. But because you have criminals in charge who don't give a damn on you, who don't give any damn about how you feel, it is so similar to the ones who are declaring profits of 1 trillion, 2 trillion of how much money they generated from those who are importing stuffs to Nigeria. Nigeria criminals, they have done everything to ensure that it's unbelievable though, right? That it is cheaper to import stuffs into Nigeria than to manufacture them in Nigeria. You see, Nigeria is an import-dependent country, by the way. So when you import stuff into Nigeria to sell, you are creating jobs for the people of the country that produces wherever you are importing to Nigeria. But if you produce them in Nigeria, like if you manufacture them inside Nigeria, you'll be creating jobs for the jobless, the teeming, jobless Nigerians inside Nigeria. And guess what? Government will make more money from those of you who are working, right? I don't know how this economic idea really works with the criminals in the contraption. They are not interested in investing in Nigeria. They are in Nigerians. All they are interested in is to take and take and take from you. So you see people who are now going to go abroad to import stuff into Nigeria. When they get to the border, they will meet Thiefnubu and his gang there, who are now going to tell them how much they will charge each of their imports, so that they can come and brag later that they have made so much money. Do you know how much we generated in the first quarter of 2024? 5 trillion naira. Say, okay. Do you know where the 5 trillion naira is going to come from? It's going to come from you, the end users. You that will need to buy Pampers for your children. You that will need to buy baby milk. Those of you who will need to buy your medication. The rest, like those of you who are going to be the end users of whatever they are bringing into Nigeria, you will pay for it. For a serious government, when this money is made, you reinvest them in the country, build sustainable energy, power that will actually provide electricity for the homes and for the factories. So the more people that are working, the more money you are going to make through taxes. So if you have more people working, let's say you have, not like what you have right now. So let's say you have a country where your manufacturing sector, they are really, really working. They are not, burning diesel and all of that on their own generators and all that. Like they're actually like working. You will make so much money because that means you have more people employed. And the more people that are employed, the more money you will make as a government. And the more money you make as a government, the stronger your economy will become, because at the end of the day, you will be able to produce all you need. All you need. When I say all you need in your country, that you will even have surplus enough to go and to ship to other countries. And when you begin to actually send things outside your country, finished products, not raw materials, finished products, finished goods, okay? So you begin to earn forex as well, that's serious forex, whereby your currency, because anybody who wants to buy anything from you, okay, they will need your naira, not dollars. So imagine if America needs to buy your crude oil, for example, right? And you have a strong economy. So that means they will need to bring their dollars, exchange their dollars to your naira, and then pay you. So in the process, you have billions of dollars flowing into your country, right? Strengthening your naira. You can determine how much you want to sell your naira, not the other way. But when you want to go and import something into your country, you will need to change your naira to their currency. The common used currency is the dollars, right? So you have to change your naira to that dollars before you can buy anything and bring them into Nigeria. But Thiefnubu and his gang, they are just tax collectors. What they do is to take and take and take. And that is why you see this tariff increase. The telecommunication companies, they will not lose a sleep. They will not lose a dime. In fact, they will even make more money. But they will pay more money in taxes to these criminals who are also going to squander the money. Abi, what have they done with all the taxes they've collected on your behalf before now? What? It's never enough. They are targeting 23 trillion in revenue, including the sale of crude oil. That too is also about to be affected, by the way, with these new executive orders signed by Donald Trump. Now, in fact, let's go to that part. Donald Trump has been signing different executive orders since yesterday. But if you are not in America, all right, there are some of them that affect you directly. Make I tell you. Apart from the selfish ones, for example, people who want to go and born in America, because any child born in America is automatically American until Donald Trump's executive order says no. That one, they are going to fight it in court. So you are not going to America. You are not American. You are inside Nigeria. So let me tell you how some of his executive order is also going to expose your criminal leaders who have no real plan for you. This is economy. This is like economics 101. So listen attentively. America happened to be one of the biggest lifter or taker of Nigeria crude oil. They make, I think, even statistically, America takes about 60% of Nigerian crude oil. Yeah, that is why they invested so much money, $22 billion on that KKK project, which is to lay the pipeline from Niger Delta through the Niger Republic, through the Sahel Desert, and then straight to Morocco. From there, straight to Spain, Europe. So that every time they turn on the crude, pumping of the crude oil from Niger Delta, Nigeria, it go be like say they open the tap. They go to get crude oil in Europe. They go to get gas in Europe, straight from the source, instead of using a ship to lift your crude oil to Europe, to lift it to America. No, they can just turn the tap on. And yeah, that's it. That's why they are investing in that. Here you get until the Niger Republic and the Sahel states parted ways with France and the West. Here you get. So now, with this Donald Trump executive order, and America will begin to drill their own crude oil like never before. They are singing it in Texas now. Drill, 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 drill baby, drill baby, drill baby, which means he has lifted ban on drilling in America. Fracking in America is lifted the ban. His executive order means some of the American oil companies, international oil companies, IOCs, some of them will return back to the US. Yeah, where they will begin to actually use their own technology in the US. And in the next 1 or 2 years, I don't even think it's going to be that long. Maybe another few months, right? You will realize that the price of the crude oil in the international markets will collapse, will crash. Thiefnubu and his gang, they wrote a budget using the benchmark of the OPEC, a benchmark that they were targeting how much crude oil they will pump in 2025. They want to pump 2 million barrels or 2.5 million barrels in 2025. So what that simply means then is that who go buy them? Who go pay for them? So once the price of crude oil crash to maybe $40 or even $30 per barrel, Kasalati bought in here, Igboro di daru straight in here, where they go come see money to settle, wala ti dey niyan. So right now, even Thiefnubu today, where he met with the Ogoni leaders from Rivers State. Yeah, he had a meeting with them today. These are the Ogoni leaders, shameless people. Ogoni is a place where Ken Saro-Wiwa got killed for fighting for the Ogoni land, where they were drilling crude oil for decades. They have destroyed their ecosystem, destroyed their land, their water. And they said they must clean the place. Under the Bokohari, where Pastor Ruga was sent to Ogoni, Pastor Ruga claimed that Ogoni cleanup started. This was in 2017, before election, 2019. Up to this moment, Shingbaka, Shingbai cleaning, they don't do. There was a time they will be showing us the pictures of some trailer digging the earth, like digging the ground enough that they are like, because that cleanup means, Baba, they will need to dig all the sand from across Ogoni land. They will now go and bring sand from somewhere else, because the sand in Ogoni is already soaked. It's soaked with crude oil. Nothing can grow there. You can't grow food. If you go to their water, Baba, there is no fish because of years of exploration of crude oil, oil exploration, and neglect of the environment. People have been killed. People died protesting this lifestyle that Nigeria forced on them, that they have killed everything around them. Today, Thiefnubu was hosted them in Abuja because they promised to give them some money, all the leaders, led by Fubara and some of their local leaders, because the arrangement was Thiefnubu has found his friends who wanted to take over the oil blocks in Ogoni land for themselves, but they can't because of the embargo, because of the local wahala. So Thiefnubu now called them and said, you see, I will take care of you. The cleanup of Ogoni land has not been done. It has not been done. Yeah? But you see them in the picture. Smile. Let me show you the one where they were smiling. Look at their faces. Everyone smiling. Even where the wiki was there. Ubara and the rest of them. Yeah. So they were there to assure Thiefnubu that if you promise that you are going to clean up the place. In fact, I have a video I want to share with you. I'll come back to this Donald Trump's executive orders and how they are going to affect whatever Thiefnubu and his gang have plotted. Where is that one again? This one. Watch this.
Nothing will they see for this river again because of the oil spillage. The oil don't spoil everything. See them, no fish since morning. See the oil everywhere. The women were there and the people where they go Prayako. They never see big Prayako again because the oil don't kill all the Prayako where they on top the mangrove. Everything don't spoil. We not fit eat again. No money because now this thing now they use to survive as river people. Make government come help us for all of my year. Everything don't spoil finish because of the oil spillage. Government with the beg on her. Make on a help us, oh. Make on a help us. We they die. We they die. Nothing. See the oil.
What's your name?
It's over here, Grand Control. I beg.
This time we need a city again. All our things, crude oil don't spoil and finish. For us, for them, nothing they see this time I see. Nothing from us. I beg, wait for another government. Make them go help us. Me, my children, and this is time and they carry food there. They're gonna help us. Tell government, they see the kind of suffer where they suffer. Since morning, I day here, they find it and no one come. And this one where I fix it, all of them don't die. So nothing. I beg, come and tell government. Make them go help us. Our children, because of this suffering, our children, they go school again. Nothing there. I beg, come and help us.
Make them go help us with the time for hunger.
You don't talk your own, man.
What do you want? My name is Koolu.
Come. Make them.
We need a sleep because of that thing where they flow. And the thing don't spoil all of our water. Our inside, they don't die finish. Nothing with the sick people. Now hunger, our children, they go school. The inside one will go try pick. And yes, one will go keep and it don't die. Now hungry with our children, they go school. This thing now with the pick, they carry set our children and go school. All for them away with the stay, they cross. Nothing there for us. Everything don't die finish. Make government come help us.
If you see the river everywhere, the mangrove, all the fish don't die. Village don't spoil them. Crude oil don't spoil
your phone, they flash.
If you put a net for river, no way, all the fish don't disappear. Even crab, mosquito, nothing. If you can see them, all of them are fishermen. They are different canoe. They're gonna come government. They call government, make them come help us. Already also help us financially to clean up the spill. Since about 2 weeks ago till now, everywhere don't spoil. We they call government, make them come clean up. No way. Every day, the spill they spread, they go other side. If you can go down now, you see other communities. Spill don't scatter everywhere. Like the river. Which community again? If you can go there, we are Efoko, Krakrama, Sangama, up to Abonima, Minama, Angulama, Owako, etc. We want government to come clean, immediate clean up.
Adjo Wesley. By the special grace of God, I'm the Buguma Youth President and the chairman of all chairmen in Assato local government area, youth chairman. The reason why I'm here is very simple. Close to a month now, our environment in our area has been polluted. My concern about this pollution, this oil spill pollution that is going on, is that the response from the people that manages the facility. For 3 weeks, gas has been flaring. Fire has been on. No response. No quick response. Initially, it was just gas. After 3 weeks, close to a month, when they came trying to stop the gas, fire incident happened again. Up till now, as I'm talking to you, the fire is still on. As I'm also talking to you, Krakram again, fire is on. As we are speaking right now, Alakri, well 9, his fire is still on. So I feel these their facilities is up to date that they will come and start putting them in good conditions. This is typically equipment failure. Some people will say it's my youth, but I am saying categorically, I'm in the village. I'm there in December when this incident happened. It's typically equipment failure. Their equipment needs servicing. The facility is OLM 18. OLM 18. But I will not, I don't really know whether it's Red Cross or any other company that is managing it. But as a community person, that facility is there. Buguma Well-Ed is what they call it in their map. And as I'm speaking to you now, even our son that is in charge of energy is going around to check the facilities. This is typically equipment failure. And it has damaged a lot of things in our community. So we are pleading. Aquatic lives have been damaged. Even some of our boats that we are using to go to fishing and all that, if you look at it, there's no way to even use them again. Our water is being polluted. We don't have any sort of livelihood. We are just water people. We are riverine people. That's why our mothers, our fathers go to fishing, go to Prevenco, go to bush to bring animals and fishes for them to sell so that they will earn a living. Even that noise that gas is making, if you are here in the morning, early hours, our elderly women, 80-something, 70-something, they are complaining. Most of them are having PP. We are pleading the government to invite the necessary agencies for JIV and all that so that they can stop this thing before we now talk of the damage. This is typically a matter of their equipment. And in trying to come to stop the gas.
That's life. Oh. That is life in that part of Nigeria. See those ones? Before they were born, people from that part of Nigeria, they have been complaining. Under Abacha. Yeah, this was like 30 years ago. The situation was the same. But rather than the government to be on the side of the people, because they are tax collectors, they will be on the side of the oil companies. When there are spillages from the equipment of these oil companies, the villagers will be blamed. The government that was supposed to be more concerned about their environment, about the people, they will be on the side of the oil companies. The leaders of the communities who knows what their people are facing, when they join and begin to complain, once the government and the oil companies call them and give them some money, they will bury it and then they will just have to live with it. This is the life of the people in that part of Nigeria. In America, or even here in Europe, if you're operating a company, they will tell you, you cannot contaminate the environment. If you dare, they will find you. They will find you with, millions of dollars or millions of euros or millions of pounds. If you get any single drop of oil on the ground where you have been warned not to, if there's any leak from any facility in America and you contaminate the land, you will think that person has slaughtered people. The way the government will come for that company. They will even call them to the capital to go and do inquiry. You get that? But in Nigeria, you get away with them. To the point that, did you see the environment? Did you see that thing where you see that black thing here? Let me show you again. That is not, there's no more, though. It's no more, though. It's not potopoto. Now, crude oil.
Nothing will they see for this river again.
See that thing behind that guy?
Nothing will they see for this river again because of the oil spillage. The oil don't spoil everything.
That is not terrofor. That is not potopoto. That is not modo. That is crude oil. If you go to some of these communities, they have gas flaring. You know what is gas flaring? Gas, where they say they don't feel contain. And it's just there. Just zzz, or burning. They have burning fire that has been burning for more than 40, 50 years before I was born in Niger Delta of Nigeria. Yeah. There are communities where you see gas flaring. Gas has been burning fire there for over 40, 50 years. But what every successive government in Nigeria has been interested in is how much money they can make or collect from these oil companies. That's it. Make the people learn how to live with that. So you see them, they will budget. They will say, okay, this budget of 2024, we are planning to sell crude oil at $90 per barrel, $100 per barrel, $1 per barrel. With this Donald Trump's executive order, brethren, you know what is called recession? Recession, where everything will just dry up financially. Nigeria is about to face it. Yeah, maybe they would have China to buy their crude oil. Unfortunately, Nigeria is not the only country that supplies crude oil to China. So if what America buys from Nigeria, it is not as if the money they actually got from the ones that America has been buying ever reaches any of you before. You can't release, can anybody here tell me how much NNPC remitted from the sale of crude oil between January and March 2024? Raise up your hand. Do you know? Do you? In all sincerity, if you do, please share with us. You can even put it in the comments and tell us how much NNPC remitted from the sale of crude oil, Nigeria crude oil. Okay, let's make it 6 months. Between January 2024 and then June 2024, 6 months. How much? Do you have an idea? Nobody does. Nobody has an idea because there is no evidence of how much they remitted. But if you want to know how much Nigeria borrowed between January 2024 and then June 2024, I have an idea. I do. Starting from September 2023, Thiefnubu and his gang, they went to a place called Afrexim Bank, Africa Export and Import Bank. It's called Afrexim. They went there to go and borrow 3.3 billion. They gave them 2 billion in September. And by September 2023, by the February 2024, they gave them the balance of $1.3 billion. And they used 197 million barrel of crude oil as collateral. Yeah, I remember that. 197 97 million barrel of crude oil as collateral if Nigeria doesn't pay back that money, doesn't pay that money back in 5 years, and that is 2028. So by 2028, if Nigeria doesn't pay back the $3.3 billion plus the interest, which is, what is the 40% of that, by the way? I think we calculated the 1.2. Okay, that's like 4.5. Nigeria has to pay back $4.5 billion by 2028, but they don't have any plan of paying back. There's no plan of paying back, and that is why the Afrexim Bank, that is currently taking nearly 200 million barrel of crude oil from Nigeria, from the money they gave to Bokohari. We don't even know what Bokohari used the money for. Did you? Did you know what they use the money for? Because that same Afrexim Bank, right, is currently taking over 200 million barrel of crude oil from Nigeria as the payback for the loan they gave to Bokohari. Yes, that is why. Despite the fact that Thiefnubu said they should go and give Dangote crude oil, teaspoonful of crude oil they can't give to Dangote. They were supposed to be giving Dangote, they were supposed to be giving him 200,000 barrel of crude oil every day. Yeah, Dangote was supposed to be getting somewhere around, he was supposed to be getting like about 5 million barrel of crude oil, I think. About 5 million barrel every month. That's what Dangote was supposed to be getting upon the completion of his refinery. The reason why Nigeria have no crude oil, because let's slow it down so that you understand this very well. Okay. Nigeria doesn't extract our own crude oil. They just sell the license to the international oil companies. And then Nigeria will take 40% of that money, not even half. So the arrangement was that Nigeria will collect 40% of the crude oil, of the money made, the proceed of the extracted crude oil. So if the oil companies are extracting, for example, 1.5 million barrel every day, 40% of that comes to Nigeria. Then Nigeria will also tax them, because the arrangement is that whatever money these oil companies make, Nigeria will then tax them. I think it's about 3% or 4% again, which is going to be based on their own, what they make. This is the two revenue that Nigeria make from crude oil. Nigeria doesn't have any machine, doesn't have any drilling machine to drill anything, their own crude oil. They just sell the license to these oil companies. Okay? However, in that same arrangement, all the oil companies, they will give Nigeria 350,000 barrel of crude oil every day, because Nigeria believed to have their own refineries. Nigeria's refineries were working at over 56% before APC, Ebekebe, took over power in 2015. I know you probably don't remember that anymore, but I will remind you. Nigeria's refineries were working at over 56% before APC took over. And immediately APC took over, they declared all the refineries dead. Since their refineries are dead, that automatically means the 350,000 barrel of crude oil that they are entitled to from the oil companies would not be refined locally. So what did the Bokohari and his gang, what did they do? They used it as a collateral to take a certain loan from the Afrexim Bank that nobody knows what they use the money for, or what was the total amount of that loan? We don't know. But the only thing we shall know is that because of that deal with Afrexim Bank, it is now the Afrexim Bank that is now collecting the 350,000 barrel of crude oil that was supposed to go to Nigerian refineries. It's now going to them. So what they do is that they just sell them at the international markets to recoup their money that they gave to Bokohari. Till now, nobody knows how much is that money. Nobody knows how much of the crude oil they have collected so far and how much is left. Nobody knows. So when they were doing all this media nonsense that they will give Dangote refinery crude oil, I came here and said is a lie. There's no crude oil to give him. And that's why they staged another, another propaganda by telling you that, oh, refineries is working now. But the pipeline that was supposed to supply the crude oil to Port Harcourt refinery is broken. It's not repaired. So does that mean that they put the crude oil inside tanker and take it to the refinery to refine it? Now they said the refineries don't refine petroleum products, only diesel and kerosene. About his crude oil should be refining all of this. Crude oil has all of this. A working refinery should be refining all of these products. Which kind of refinery be this one? We know they refine their petrol. They have to import that from Malta. Scam, fraud. So right now, the collateral that we are now aware of is the one they have promised Afrexim Bank again, 197 million barrel of crude oil for $4.5 billion loan. Yet we don't have an idea how much the NNPC is making from selling Nigerian crude oil. Their 40% royalty. We don't know. I don't know. Do you? Do you? Because I don't. And if you do, I would be so... See, I don't know everything. And I don't want to pretend that I do. I would appreciate it if you can send me to any direction of... go and check this link. This particular link explains everything. This is how much NNPC has been remitting to Nigeria. I will be glad if you can show me that. Thiefnubu and his gang, they have collected over $8 billion so far from the IMF and World Bank. And that is why, in 2023, when they said he floated Nigerian Naira, the Nigerian Naira that is now floating up and down now, is a trashy tissue paper, worthless paper that has no value, all because of an IMF loan. In a space of 20 months, Thiefnubu has printed over 25 trillion naira on the ways and means. Ways and means is the money borrowed the government by the loan to the government by the Central Bank of Nigeria. They have broken the law on that front. They've broken the law many times. The law says, right, that the Central Bank of the country is allowed to provide 5%. It said 5% of the total budget figure. 5%, not even 10 or 5%. So if you are running a deficit, in this instance, they are running a deficit of over 15 trillion naira. In this, their 2025 budget, 15 trillion naira deficit. Now, from that 15 trillion deficit, right, the central bank was supposed to only give Thiefnubu 5%. When you go and check how much Thiefnubu has, the money they have given to Thiefnubu's regime by the Central Bank of Nigeria, it is more than 50%. They've broken the law in that regard. So no wonder they want the Ogoni people to name their price. They need those oil blocks in that axis to balance things up, because according to them, they want to be producing 2 million barrels a day. And the 2 million barrels, it's only 40% they will collect to oil producing country, my yansh. Prince Jejeman. Apologies to Prince Jejeman. Oil producing country. If you go to Saudi Arabia, they hold almost the entire equity of the oil industry, almost everything. You will see the Saudis working hand in hand, next in hand, hand in hand with the Americans. Saudis, over 85% of them, they are those who control the oil industry. The Saudis, if you go to the Qatar, if you go to the UAE, over 85% of them, they control the equity there. In Nigeria, we control nothing. We are just rent seekers. These criminals are just rent seekers. They will give the license to Mayegu. Mayegu will give the license to his friends from across the world. As long as they are giving me my own little share, I don't have to be there. Because it concern me. So if they now say that the people of Ogoni, their water is polluted, their land is polluted, this and that, it concern me. As long as they are remitting my own money into my Swiss account, it concern me with Ogoni. I'm not from Ogoni, so it concern me with Ogoni. That's Nigeria. So now everybody go take the heat now with this Donald Trump. What do you call it? With this Donald Trump's executive order, America first, America first. So what that simply means is that the oil prices, what have you, it's going to crash. Yeah, it's going to crash. There's going to be peace in the Middle East. People are already projecting that. And you know, the only way that Nigeria could have used the advantage, which is in itself really is not really, it's not really good. But they say if somebody else's own no spoil, another person will no go better. But when the Nigerian system was, the Nigerian criminals were supposed to take advantage of all these things, they never used the advantage for you. They were using the money to buy themselves cars, to increase their salaries, to travel all over the world, bringing back nothing. Now you are about to start the fasting and prayer, where Adeboye say make you fast and pray. You will fast and pray. Fasting and prayer. PD. Even though I wait to bow and learn anyway, so what's the point? So they say in Yoruba that I wait to bow and learn, there's already fasting and prayer. Anyway, people are already fasting. I mean 001, 101. Yeah. So you're about to feel it. And they're about to borrow more. Yeah, they will go borrowing so that the rest of the country can go sorrowing. They won't tell you that now, don't worry. Yeah? All the other funding that they get from these different organizations, World Food Program, World Health Program, climate change, all this cheap money, they are going to dwindle and dwindle. See, the dwindle, so the way they will dwindle is going to be so fast that you feel it. If you go to some of the communities in Nigeria, you will see that the NGOs, foreign NGOs, they are those who are carrying out different kind of, what do you call it? Outreaches and all of that, outreach, medical outreach. When you see those who have become the victims of the terrorism in Nigeria, women, children, they will tell you how much of the support they have received from the contraptions, ruiners. So those who are like the foreign bodies who come in to give them support medically, and all of that will disappear soon. I mean, shouldn't really be, a big but yeah, it will all dry up. Shit is about to hit the fan. Like seriously. So how this is going to now end, I may project or predict, but I don't know. Because there's no plan. There's nothing saved for the raining day. Nothing. I believe that the sky daddy is, it's going to possibly come to your aid. That is not how it works. So when they tell you that when America sneezes, the rest of the world catches cold, this is what it means. The criminals in Nigeria are about to feel it. And you, they are enablers too. So maybe we can now possibly have, I'm not banking on that one, okay? Maybe we can have a chance when Donald Trump, this same Donald Trump, will release all the files of Thiefnubu. Remember, Thiefnubu said that if they release this file, it will have there's actually the word he used. That it was going to have some, is it catastrophic, be like a consequential, something like that. Right? So, on the brighter side, maybe, because you see, Donald Trump's chief of staff right now, who is, happened to be a very good friend of the IPOB. I don't know if the relationship is still there, and I really do wish it is. So that somebody is going to be saying it to his, to his left here. Like say the JT. Nigeria has been captured, even though our foreign policy doesn't, for any reason, have them in our plan. But that country is being led by a drug dealer who was instrumental to the drug epidemic in Chicago, Illinois, in the late 80s and early 90s. He is the oppressed idiot now. He captured the country. The man that is working in italic. Koolu is the oppressed idiot now. Maybe we can possibly save... I don't know. I mean, imagination will go wound me. But why? I mean, we can imagine things, right? Just by putting one or two things... God bless you, Jare. Ayola Olatunji, irreparable damage. Exactly. That's what Thiefnubu said. That if they release his data, if they release his true file in America, that it will cause irreparable damages. So maybe Donald Trump will do that for the, for the culture. I'm not banking on it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. Just saying. Just maybe imagine. Because Donald Trump signed an executive order where he said the drug cartels, they will be treated as international terrorists. And one of them is the president of Nigeria. So Thiefnubu is an international terrorist. You see, Ronuku, if you are a Ronuku that is watching me right now, yesterday, I said, oh, the lifeless Thiefnubu, the lifeless Koolu is back in that contraption. The man that is working in italic. Because that's how Thiefnubu works. It works in italic. Like that. Sometimes it works like person that is disabled like that. That's working in italic. He's a drug addict, he's a drug dealer. So, if Donald Trump's executive order says all the drug cartel that they are international terrorists, we can easily say that Thiefnubu Koolu is international terrorist. So when I now said that the lifeless Thiefnubu is back, some of the Ronukus, they came onto my platform on Facebook. Some said I should respect the office. I said, Oguki, you diabolori bukunye. Another one said, you don't have respect for your father. I said, my father is not a drug dealer. My father was never a drug dealer. This one is a drug dealer. And there is nothing you can do to change that. He forfeited money to avoid jail. Do you understand? He is a Guinean, a man from Guinea, who has been mingling with another most wanted arms dealer, drug dealer from Mali. We have all the evidence. It's not like we are making things up. We have all the evidence. So people can, although they have started advising Thiefnubu to make sure that he avoids Donald Trump. So even if you don't like Donald Trump, and somehow you want, you want this Thiefnubu to pay for his crimes, Donald Trump has the power to make that happen. It's just that you can't bank on it. You know, that's why I'm not going to really put my money on that. Because I remember when the Fulani terrorists were slaughtering people in Nigeria, the lifeless Bokohari went to America. Donald Trump still collected over $500 million from him and sold him to tucano jets. The same man that banned Twitter in Nigeria. Donald Trump supported it. He said, well done. Yeah, Donald Trump told Bokohari that Bokohari, good job for banning Twitter. So anything that is not in Donald Trump's interest can go to places. That's why I don't want to bank on it. You get what I mean, right? He shook the hand of Bokohari that yes. Because you remember that Donald Trump himself was suspended from Twitter. And because he was suspended from Twitter, hang on, no. Yeah, because he was suspended, and then Bokohari now banned Twitter in Nigeria. Donald Trump supported him and said, well done. That's what you do to these people. The story is different now anyway. So I don't know what Thiefnubu and this gang will trade to have him on their side. The last time, Bokohari emptied the excess crude accounts in order to go to Donald Trump in 2019. And he gave him $500 million. And America First, Mr. America First was comfortable with that. He just told this guy, said, don't ever allow that, don't ever let that lifeless thing come closer to me again. After collecting $500 million, Donald. That's why I don't want to bank on it when it comes to Donald Trump and this Koolu. But I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm allowed to sort of imagine it once in a while and say, what if he can just help us release these files of Thiefnubu? Nigeria is captured already, so it's not like it's going to make any much difference, okay? Now, let me tell you something. The idea of the southern Nigeria have the most fraud stars in Nigeria is not true. And it is ideal to tell you that. The real criminals in Nigeria, the real destroyers of Nigeria, they are mostly from northern Nigeria. All of you who are from the southern part of Nigeria or middle belt, you have been either conditioned, bamboozled, or brainwashed to believe that these northern criminals, they are like they are dull. They are not. If you look at those who have looted Nigeria from 1970, put it that from that 1970 till today, it's been these northerners, mostly. Remember that Abacha loots. Abacha is dead now for more than how many years? 28 years, how many years now? 27 years or thereabout. And they are still returning Abacha loot. So I'll give you the backstory. The most corrupt human beings are from this Arewa North. They are the most evil-minded. I'm looking for other very good, strong English. You know, primitive, devil-minded. Okay, don't worry. You shall. Like, the Southerners are just loud. Una loud. And see, it's not like you are that loud too, but there is a systemic arrangement to cover up these criminals from northern Nigeria. When they open banks, whenever they open banks, the bank is not because of any commercial activities. No. It is for money laundering. 90 to 95% of the Bureau de change in Nigeria before now was owned by these northerners. Do you think it's because Aboki is asking you to come and sell dollar? You are selling dollar to Aboki. Aboki is giving you naira. You're selling naira. Do you think that's what they do? The story of emptying the Central Bank of Nigeria by the northern Nigeria, by these northerners, under Bokohari is a fresher. That one should freshen your memory. Yeah. They emptied Nigeria Central Bank. Until now, they can't really hold any of them responsible. But they will tell you how dear Zani stole billions of dollars. You know? How who else would they pointed out in the southern part of Nigeria? But you know something? The reason why, when Obasanjo started EFCC, the reason why they continue to fight to be in charge of EFCC was to ensure that they continue to protect them. They do not have any other means of making genuine money than the Commonwealth of Nigeria. Listen, if you are watching me from northern Nigeria, don't be offended though, because you are also a victim. You are not part of the whole court. Don't count yourself as anything important. You're not important. Say, we the northerners will control Nigeria. Nibo. They have their courts that have been like doing this. The reason why the southern part of Nigeria will continue to be the easy target is one, when you check the military, they have the highest population of the soldiers in Nigeria. When you check the police, they have the highest number of the policemen in Nigeria too. When you check almost every government security agency in Nigeria, they dominate it. It is for a reason. So that if you raise any kind of petition against them, it will be killed before you even get to anywhere. So in EFCC, they have a certificate, anti-money laundering certificate, that they issue to financial institutions like banks, and they really change. You see those ones from northern Nigeria, because they have been given that EFCC clearance, everything that goes on within their accounts, all those bank accounts, right? They are out of bound for the EFCC. Well, if you receive 150 million naira in your own bank account, 100 million naira in your own bank accounts, it will be flagged. You know why yours will be flagged? Because you don't belong to that circle. So they want to know where you get the money from. You can't just have access to such money. Or somebody just paid 10 billion naira into your bank. Meanwhile, you see all those northern special account in northern Nigeria that they are using to perpetrate all this fraud. Tens and hundreds of billions of naira are passing through them conveniently, and there is nothing that will raise any red flag. Nothing. If you have seen those who have become the victims of 419 in Nigeria, more than 80% of them, they will tell you there's always an involvement of an allergy in this business. There is always. Local. They call it local. Those who are perpetrating local fraud in Nigeria, they are from northern Nigeria. And once your money is paid into any account, it's gone. And that is why you have been hearing that they are paying ransom money into bank accounts, and this money they are passing through. Nobody is arresting anybody. Do you know why? Because those that provide the money, the account they use, they already have what is called the anti-money laundering certificate. Any money that passes through it, nobody can raise any alarm. For Southerners, their specializes in their own specialty is foreign scam, foreign fraud, come and marry. And that is why the EFCC is always after you in the South. When you look at those who are emptying people's bank accounts, and suddenly they can't trace the accounts anymore. In Nigeria, they will empty your bank account. They will hack your account from northern Nigeria. They will hack your account. When you begin to trace it, at the end of the day, once you get to a certain stage, your bank will just go cold. There's no further investigation. There's no headway anymore because the money don't cross to the north. Well protected. So if you have seen those who have been scammed locally in Nigeria, there is always an involved Alaji. Where your money is paid to, right? There are accounts that cannot be investigated. There are accounts that nobody can raise alarm. Even if you have the details of the account and submit that to the EFCC. Once they see the account, your case will go cold. Yeah, it will go cold. True story. They scammed my old man, I remember, that we should supply this chemical. And the chemical is used for pipeline. You know, God bless the memory of this my old man. I don't know if this my uncle is watching. Fabo. I was his old man. And I was his right-hand man, pretty much like his secretary then. Right? So we received this phone call. It was this someone who claimed to know my brother in the US. And he has been pursuing this contract at the NNPC, but they have not been able to reach him. So that's why they were calling his dad. It was around the time the GSM, the mobile phone, first came to Nigeria that way, you know, year 2001, 2002. So we picked up the call, had a chat, and this is my old man, you know, was into haulage business in the Ikeja airport then, you know, Nako in the Ikeja. My old man then had about 4 or 5 trucks. So every imported cargo into Nigeria through the Lagos airports. So we'll load them and we'll take them across Nigeria to the east, to the north, to anywhere. So it was fine. It was doing well. Then something came, they say, oh yeah, you know, your son has been applying for this, blah, blah, blah. And that's how we entered it to. It didn't take much money, but it was like a painful one because the old man wasn't somebody who was really, really like a greedy person per se. To him, he thought he was protecting the interest of his son. We couldn't reach my brother until that day. And I kind of suspected, you know me, I suspected that something was wrong, something was amiss. So this guy showed up in our house. We chased all our tenants away, all the kids, everybody, we chased them away from the compound. We don't want anybody, we pretended that was also our office. Then he walked in, he said, oh, I need to come and see the material. We needed to go and buy this material, this chemical, like we need to go and buy this chemical. Each of them cost 25,000 naira. So they did 1,000 of it, which was probably going to be like about, I think 25 million or 2.5 million or something. I can't remember. So we paid the money. Okay, they told us where to go and get this particular chemical. So we went there, we got 250,000 naira. They said we should get more. I said, what happened is that you need to pay us first before we can go and get more. And that's what actually busted it. So we went back and they've disappeared. They have disappeared. These are the local ones. But you see those of you who are scamming, foreigners in the southern part of Nigeria, driving Benz and doing all of this lao and the rest of that, right? You are the easy target they can come for in the southern part of Nigeria. Meanwhile, in the north, the real Obonge criminals are protected. In the southern part of Nigeria, you that doing Yahoo in southern part of Nigeria, the client of the EFCC and the rest, you are not notorious in northern Nigeria, Baba. They are not just hackers. They are not just a bunch of account hackers. So they are also notorious. They walk about with their own guns. If anything goes wrong, so EFCC doesn't go to them per se. The system protects them. But the system needs to pretend that it's working. That's why you have what you have in southern Nigeria. That's why they can break into your homes in southern Nigeria, where you have many Nigerians. One rule for the south, one rule for the north. It's the same where you have the SARS that goes about harassing people in the south. They dare not try it in the north. Even when they are moving weapons, where terrorists are moving up and down, no, they don't go there. They will only give you excuses why they won't. They will tell you that, oh, Abokis are religious. Abokis are, no. They are a bunch of criminals from that part of Nigeria. No doubt. I think that's what triggered this judge when she was firing the EFCC in the courts of their unprofessionalism or so. The EFCC will scale the fence. They will break into people's homes randomly. No warrant, no nothing. Harass people, beat them up, loot, steal their stuff in the name of fighting economic and financial crimes in the southern part of Nigeria. That's why you will never see it in the northern part of Nigeria. Hang on. Somebody published something on this matter. And I'm going to read it word for word, okay? Said, do you know that the biggest syndicate of hackers who move money from Nigerian banks are based in the north? Do you know that the top 5 biggest hacks in Nigeria banking history were traced to the north? The NIBSS, which is responsible for all interbank transactions in Nigeria, have been compromised many times, and the culprits have been traced to the north. Have you noticed that most of the time you get phony texts that requires you to send a personal banking info to a number? The person on the other end of the phone is usually a northerner. They are always the ones that are always calling wrong number. Hello, Abu. I say, Abu Bawo, Abu no Shilele, Abu Bawo. And he will call you back again. Hello, Abu. I say, no, Abu, this is not Abu. Hello, Abu. I say, show me the Brukulele in Abu Kiwolong me Abu Bawo. They are fraudsters until when you say your name. And then until when they will block your line and get any OTP redirected to another number before they hack your bank account. They are not stupid. It's not random. It is not coincidence. It's always intentional. So when Otedola's dormant account, last used in 2008, right, was used to launder money by a Nigerian bank for over 10 years. The culprits were northern bankers who worked with a northern syndicate. Do you know that when Chevron, Shell, Dangote, and Nigerian breweries lost over 1 billion naira from their GTB accounts in 2023, the hackers and the conspirators were from the north? Do you know that? No? Okay. Do you know that when a 1.4 billion naira heist was uncovered in 2022, the syndicate were from the north? The main man even contested Kogi status of assembly election under NNPP. He was caught with $470,000 cash. Do you know that 95% of BDCs in Nigeria are owned by northerners, and their primary function is money laundering, disguised as exchange, mainly for these syndicates, ahead of the usual suspects, politicians. Some BDC operators owned as many as 10 BSCs, registered with different business names. Why do you think the new central bank governor shut down all BDC operations when he came in? So firstly, the BDCs used in laundering these monies are cleared by the EFCC. There is an anti-money laundering certification that they get before operating such bank accounts. So automatically, the transactions between these accounts are not under radar, and the central bank and EFCC monitors. It makes no sense, is it? So when the Kogi hacker was caught, here is another one. The EFCC doesn't go after these people because they are powerful. Unlike southern fraudsters who deal on 5 and 6 figures fraud. Northern fraudsters do haste. They are running into hundreds of millions of dollars, hence are able to put law enforcement into their pockets. When the Kogi hacker was caught, guns and ammunition were found in his possession. So you see, unlike Southern fraudsters who use only laptops and the internet, Northern fraudsters are armed to the teeth and well protected. Right? That is the story of Nigeria. Here is the judge lambasting one of the years. So when you are from the southern part of Nigeria, and you quickly say the northerners are mugus, maybe you are the actual mugu who is living in this fantasy, a fantasy of delusion. The real criminals of that place, the real financial criminals of Nigeria, they are from northern part of Nigeria. And their job is local runs, where they ransack the entire financial system of Nigeria, including the public fund. Well, listen to this.
No, I said that they have 5 defendants in this process, and they are all.
That's not the issue we were discussing at that moment.
I told you that this application is incompetent.
If you continue to lie like this, you won't go places. Obvious lies, excuse me, it's not good for your image. It is not good for your image. You are turning your eyes, turning your head like a woman selling peanuts on the street.
You are so upset. I will not take this conjecture on my person.
You can take it.
I don't take it.
You can take the
respect.
You can take the
it's not fair on my person.
Is that the way you speak to your mother?
And this court has been calling them. Everything I take it's not fair. Somebody cannot bring a peaceful comment in the court without the court talking down on me. It's not fair.
What is the peaceful comment when you are lying on
me? 3 occasions have come to this court and have been
intimidated by who? By your lies. You are not a man of integrity. You are badly trained. You lack manners. And that's why you are so uncouth. And that's why you will not remember the ethics of... Please remain standing. Please, Mr. Momini, please sit down. Mr. Oko has handled. Ajayi, please come here. I'll order your arrest if you misbehave.
You know I'm standing.
What nonsense? Is that the way you speak to your mom? My children will not do that to us. You are so badly trained.
You know I'm not badly trained.
You are badly trained. You are badly trained. Would I fold my hands and allow you to speak to me like that? When you are lying against the court in the face of the court. You are breaching 2 rules. Rules of morality. Showing that you are not properly trained. 2, the ethics of the profession. How can you be such a blatant liar? We were discussing. Excuse me, keep quiet. When I speak, you keep quiet. And I mean it. If you repeat it again, I'll order your arrest and lock you up. Let this be a matter between me and the FCC. Who trained you? Whether from the law school or from your own. What kind of a child are you? Even if you are not properly taught, once you are called to the bar, I expect better behavior. I expect better behavior. The FCC does not cloak you to be rude to people. These are people, other people's lives. You didn't come, and I kept telling you, it's pushing on record. You lied, you said you came. Until the gentleman, the lady there spoke. And of course, here, what's her name? Chiyere told me. What kind of liars are you people? What kind of toga of arrogance do you prosecutors wear? What arrogance? Those who ought to be arrogant are the brilliant ones, courtesy to the likes of Mr. Mumuni. And of course, those who are brilliant are the ones who are better behaved. You lack manners. Very unruly, very uncouth, and without anything of sense. Gentlemen, at this point, I have to adjourn. These are the people tomorrow leader. How can this one be a leader tomorrow? What do you have when you don't have manners? You don't even know the law. What do you want to hand over? That we are wearing wig and that does that make us equals? No. That you are with EFCC does not make you better? No. Because most of you didn't get their merit either. It's a matter of nepotism. Not because you are brilliant. And that's what plays out. I was trying to teach you that once you wanted to speak, you ought to have told me I was just on Monday. That's the way I was trained. If you are not careful, I'll just do the ruling. Well, what can you do? You go and appeal. That's not the way I just work. If you don't know what to do, you don't know it. You cannot acquire knowledge through bad behavior. Go back to your office, tell them what I just did to you. What kind of training do you have from your home? Nothing. Because once you are well trained from home, you will know how to behave outside. You know how to conduct yourself. But because you don't have people who train you, and you have refused to train yourself, that's why you will come in the public clear. Not only that, you have to respect my age, and then respect the bench. But of course, I don't want to say beyond that. Everybody with their background. Otherwise, why would I speak when you speak? My children are older than you, and they are better qualified than you are. And they won't do that to any adult. Thank you so much.
You see? Now, George, the blast EFCC lawyer that kept lying in her court. She couldn't take it any longer. She was like, God damn it, man. Why are you lying, man? And that's what they do. That is what they do. They are not lawyers by merit, by the way, but once they work for the EFCC, their job is to make sure that, because they always get part of the largesse of whatever is obtained from people fraudulently, especially in southern part of Nigeria. These are the criminals that filled up the EFCC in Nigeria. One of them got shot and killed a few days ago. Unprofessional criminals. Salisu or something they call his name. From Sokoto. Was there jumping fence in Oka. Because they saw Lexus and Mercedes-Benz in somebody's compound. The next thing they felt like, he must be a Yahoo boy. Let's go inside. And they said the guy is into coding. He's into coding as well as online medical supply. What the heck, man? That automatically makes him a criminal? Because that's what they do in the southern part of Nigeria. They profile you. You know what I mean? They won't dare do that in northern part of Nigeria. They won't. I'll leave that because my time is almost running out. So they captured the one chance guy in Lagos. Last man caught him. And in his own confession, though he's in Yoruba, okay, I'll come back and tell you what he's saying. Listen to this. A one chance is when they will say, you enter a bus. And then when you enter a bus, the bus is kind of like filled with criminals, robbers. So they will rob you, take everything they can from you, your phone, your bag, your money. And then they will push you down from a moving vehicle. You may not survive it. And if you do survive it, you would have to live with the trauma for the rest of your life. So one of them got caught and his conversion.
Oh yeah, kí lorúkọ ẹ?
Orúkọ mi Tarrif Kunjobi.
Sọ̀rọ̀ sókè.
Tarrif Kunjobi.
Àdúgbò bo ló ń gbé l'Ékòó?
Ní mo ń gbé, Ajégúnlẹ̀ mo ń gbé.
Ọmọ ìlú bo ni ẹ́?
Ọmọ Ìkòròdú ní Ìkòròdú.
Ó yá ṣẹlẹ̀, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
Láàárọ̀ yìí, Ajayi láàárọ̀ yìí.
Kí lẹ máa fi mọ́tò yẹn ṣe?
A fi ṣe one chance. One chance.
Okay.
Àdúgbò
area àbòlẹ̀ ti fi ń ṣe one chance.
Austin sí Ọjọ́ta.
Okay. So àwọn yìí tẹ́ ti ṣe sẹ́yìn ìjọ́ wo lẹ ṣe wọ́n?
Jẹta láì bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ mi ò sí ilé, ọjọ́ ìfúnmi lẹ̀ jẹta ló bẹ̀rẹ̀. Jẹta lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ yẹn, agbá fún mẹ́ta jẹta yẹn. Fún mẹ́ta yẹn àtà. Ẹjọ́ mọ́tò yẹ̀wò ti ṣe fún bẹ̀. Ó dọ́kù àṣìá ẹ̀. Mọ́tò jẹ́ àná.
Èló lẹ méèkì lórí fóònù mẹ́ta yẹn?
Mẹ́ta yẹn, ọ̀tá ni 110. Ẹjọ́ mọ́tò yẹ̀ mọ́tò yẹ̀ 50,000 fún bẹ̀. Ìtọ́kù àṣìá ẹ̀. Mọ́tò jẹ́ àná mọ́tò yẹn ò dára. Àlọ́ parí ẹ̀. Ọjọ́ lè parí ẹ̀ tó lè di àárọ̀ yìí. Ó lè ra mọ́tò yẹn iṣẹ́. Àjáde ní after 5 àjáde. Fún ìtajà pàátá méje. Fóònù wọn last man yẹn lágbà last. Pàṣípò táwọn last man wá rí pé táwọn àwọn last man ti ń lé wa. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ jó fún wọn. Àjáde ọ̀rẹ́ àmúwa ṣá. Fóònù méjì lórí lára mi. Fóònù méjì ọ̀gọ́ lórí lápò, fóònù méjì ọ̀gọ́ lórí. Last man yẹn fóònù tó kún wọ̀ rí. Ọjà pẹ̀lú sí mọ́tò. Wọ́n ní mọ́tò wọn. Fún àmì wọn ní pé lẹ́sà. Fóònù wà lápò mi. Wọ́n mọ̀ fún wa lára mi. Fún àmì ọkọ̀ jáde fún àmì lápò. Then if one I make back.
Tẹ́ bá ti gba fóònù yẹn tán báwo lẹ ṣe máa ń ṣe àwọn passenger tán ní fóònù yẹn?
Yes sir. Bájà tá bá ti gbà tí example sọ́ni bẹ̀ wọlé tá bá wọ mọ́tò a lè pé fún 200 naira kó wọlé. Tá bá gbà ní ara ẹ̀ láti yọ lára ẹ̀ a máa change the price 500 and 400. Ẹ máa ṣe ẹ̀yìn àmàlẹ́ fún òní san àbọ̀.
No, lady tẹ́ gba fóònù lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ láti lára ń bò lẹ́tì tí bọ́lẹ̀.
Àti bọ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀bẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ní láti gbé ibẹ̀ náà ní barracks yẹn náà.
Lẹ́tì ní kó bọ́lẹ̀ nígbà tẹ́ ti yọ fóònù.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bàtí wọlé ọ̀dọ́tọ̀ mi ní pé 200. Bàtí ìyàbàtọ̀ tó wà gbà lára ẹ̀ ọ̀dọ́ máa change the price pé 500.
Okay, now sin so bẹ́ẹ̀ máa ń ṣiṣẹ́ yìí ṣé àwọn tó kù náà wà táwọn náà ń ṣe ń bomi àbẹ́yìn nìkan ni. níbo làwọn àdúgbò bo làwọn yẹn tún ti ń ṣe. ṣe mọ́ra yín. so iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ń ṣe láti fi jẹun nìyẹn. níbo lẹ́yìn tẹ́ǹta fún máa ń wà. Okay. òun náà mọṣẹ́ tẹ́ fi ń ṣe ẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ ilé onímọ́tò ó mọ̀. Ok. All right, o ṣe. Ok, ok, all right.
àwọn tàjọ iṣẹ́ làárọ̀ yìí náà táwọn mú wọn báyìí kó tó pẹ́ jù àsìkò báyìí lè mú wọn táwọn wà ní mọ́tò táwọn wà ní káà kan jẹ́pẹ́ tí táwọn wà ní káà kan ìmọ̀ wà lẹ́yìn ibi máa bójú mi máa mú wọn àsìkò báyìí tó bá ti ń pẹ́ jù tó bá ti ń mọ̀ wọn máa sá lọ. Àmọ́ àsìkò báyìí láàárọ̀ báyìí àmọ́ kó ẹ tó ní mọ́tò máa mú báyà yẹn náà máa mú kejì tó yẹ fún náà dájú ẹ̀ máa mú wọn mo bí wọ́n ti ń di ọ̀la tó dàbí nípa fún yín wọ́n ti máa sá lọ.
ṣé èmi a lè rí wọn mú.
àtàwọn tẹ̀lé lọ́ba láàárọ̀.
Ó yá.
Snitchy. Anyway, to those of you who don't understand Yoruba, that guy was caught as a one-chancer. And according to him, he lives in Adekunle in Lagos, but he's originally from Ikorodu. He said that their job is to rob passengers. And usually they call the fare, the bus fare, cheaper. They call it cheaper bus fare. So the first operation he went to, they collected 3 phones, and they sold the phones for 110,000 naira. The bus driver collected 50,000, and the rest of them shared the remainder. And according to him, they have a buyer who usually buy all the stolen stuff from them. That the bus owner knows what they are doing. He is aware that they are one-chancers. And according to him, he can take them to all these places anytime, and he knows when they can be arrested. And he also said there are many other people doing the same work across Lagos. So he was asked if they are all the same, like they are working for the same person. He said no, but he knows that they are all over Lagos. So he was asked if this is his own, his own daily work or job. He said yes, this is his own job. That's what he does for a living, robbing people in that contraption. In Nigeria, no happen to you. Here is another part where those that are not robbers this way, but they are also robbers. A truck that was carrying cooking oil. This time around, it is not PMS. The inflammable, or what's it called? So a truck or a tanker carrying a cooking oil crashed, spilled its contents, and Nigerians, as usual, right, bombarded it, decided to, or in fact, they looted everything in it by scooping the content of that truck. Watch this.
da Allah ku je da guda da suke za abin da ya faru a lambata bi ishin a duk projection bi isa ishara a mutane da Allah je da motar mai ta fadi da Allah maza da mata yara kanana jimata suna ɗibo kwanoni daga cikin gidajensu suna zuwa sata mun mutane da Allah duba da yadda mutane suke nan wai duk wannan taron da ka gani mota ce ta fadi an zo ɗiban mai ne a cikin garin Bidda ɗan daidai gidan man AYM shafaɗin nan ita mota tanki ta faɗi da mayaka yanzu duba gani duk taron nan mutane ne kuma ɗiban mai kawai ake kaga motar da ta faɗi silga wannan ta zo transroad ɗin sauran kayan da ya ragu amma yadda ake koran mutane suna gudu suna ɗiban kayan jama'a da Allah duba ya gani to saboda Allah wannan bala'i idan wuta ta tashi nan ya kake gani ai sai dai yadda hali kawai ƙananan yara mata daga cikin gidan mazajen su duk fitowa suke suna ɗiba da Allah duba ya gani ba ga sunan birjit da an koro su ne sai su dan baje da an kyale su kuma sai su koma sai su ci gaba da ɗiba da yake ina nisa da gurin nema na dan yi zumin ne shi sa hoton baya yin kyau a gani ba da gurje ga tankin can nan ana dan koran mutane ne ma jami'an tsaro su rasu da sa suke gudu in an kyale su kuma sai sake komawa a ga yadda suke ya Allah ya kawo mana mafita wannan bala'i na kasar na har ina to wannan talauci ne ya addabi kasar ko dai zuciya ce ta mutu ko yaya ne dai oho ga nan dai sai na shekaran jiya aka yi wannan abu dai ko mutum ba shi da waya zai ji labarin abin da ya faru to yau kuma ga nan ya faru anan kawo kuma da yadda ake ba a dandara ba duba ga gani mutane kowa ya zo ɗiban mai maza da mata da yara ƙanana kowa na ɗiban mai yana tafiya har ga wasu can daga nan gefen su ma sun zo sun ɗiba an tara ga kuma wasu nan to gare masu saya nan suna saya kaga gidan man AYM shafaɗin na Bidda to a dai sun ta nemo ta faɗi a gani ga wasu nan sun je sun sato ga kuma babban barawo nan zai saya a gani ga wata nan da ka ita ma ta je ɗiba a gani duba ga yadda abin yake ko tsoron Allah ba su to in ma ba ka ji tsoron Allah ba ai ka ji tsoron irin wannan abin da ya faru a deep projection to duba dai gani ga nan ba wani abin da ba sa kawai sai ɗiba suke Allah ya kiyaye Allah ya kawo mana mafita
Amene be gana dan juma ito amumire ewe asako se aba kelu be abo aba Onye nche wa akwụkwọ ele ba so fresh ti o ko ma na do ko no o be wuta ki jon why aga za wo ko no bo
Nigeria. Yeah, my time is very much up, okay? And I don't know if we should possibly just take a few calls before we call it a night. OPM, what's that mean? What does that mean? They have this church called the OPM. Is it called OPM? I don't know the full meaning again. No. There's one popular church in Nigeria like that. So they organized a sort of skill acquisition program for people who have no job and they would like to learn some skills in their church, and it's free. So for Nigeria, where people they face harm, so the people who showed up for this free skill acquisition program tells you one single message: that Nigerians need help. right now. At least a church is teaching them skills. So let's give it to them on that. They are not asking them to begin to scream and shout to the sky daddy. They should come and change their situation. All right? But rather, they want to teach them skills that obviously not all of them will probably come out, like successfully, but for those who are going to take it serious, their life could possibly be changed to some extent. And that is to say, before their prayers can be answered, they have something to offer. They have skills. So once they have skills, as the Bible says, that I will bless the work of your hand. It didn't say I will bless your hand. The Bible says, I will bless the work of your hand. So you must learn a work. You must be able to do something. And then if you now ask God to lift you, to help you, at least there is something that, you get? So that's why I have to give it to them that way, okay? So they are teaching them skills free of charge. That is commendable. In my own book, okay? And that's why I'm not going to condemn it. But take a look at that. You can easily say, Nigeria need help. Come be like say, Moboju Missouri, okay, one Ibo ni ìrànlọ́wọ́ mi ó àti wá, ìrànlọ́wọ́ mi yóò tọwọ́ Olódùmarè wá, ọba tó dá ọ̀run àti ayé. I lift my face, I lift my eyes, I don't know. How do you say that in English, right? Right? I lift my eyes upon the hill. Where shall my helper come? I don't know. Well, you know that prayer now? You're not just lifting your eyes up on nothing. You are going to have something to offer before God can bless the work of your hands. So in Davos, in Switzerland, shitty man wearing suits was there having a chat with another president from a part of Africa. And the two fools are there fooling themselves at the World Economic Forum, they call it. Sorry to bother you, to bother you with this, okay? It will be the last one. Watch this.
President of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, specifically requested to make efforts to meet you and congratulate you formally over your success at the poll. It's actually not your own success, but a celebration of African democracy. For a ruling party that has ruled since 1966 to relinquish power to a coalition of opposition parties, it's a remarkable accomplishment in the African context. Without any descent to bloodshed, any acrimony, you were able to successfully transit to a new administration. We wish you all the best. What binds us together supersedes whatever that divides us. We are Africans, and we share a lot of commonalities. We are very fascinated about your country, about the progress you have made so far. You are able to stabilize your economy. It's a resource-dependent economy, but you are able to diversify. You are into the services sector. You are into livestock production. And one of our state governments has actually entered into partnership or with state for livestock development. And the governor there, incidentally, is a very good friend of mine. So we'll continue that engagement because there is continuity in governance, and rest assured that we have your back. We'll support you in whatever way we can for the realization of our dream of an African pre-continental trade area, which will really harness the potentials of intra-African trade. Trade within Africa now accounts for only 17% of our trade. Within Europe, it accounts for 67% of their trade. And in Asia, it's 57%. So this CFTA provides us with a platform to harness the potentials of Africa for the good of the African people. And it is projected that our economies will really blossom under the African continental free trade area. Yes, there are some apprehensions over some of your bigger neighbors and so on. But it's a win-win situation. And it's envisaged that intra-African trade will increase by 52% by 2025. And it will add about 500 in GDP by 2030. So I urge you to embrace that path of African harmony and development. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And thank you for the congratulations. We are humbled as a country. We also are encouraged. We have now, I believe, on the African continent, shown that democracy is alive and well. It's always very easy when it is leadership of one party changing. Yes. The most difficult and trying moment is when a party that is ruling has to leave power. And in our case, it was one that had been in power for almost 60 years. And the loss came somewhat unexpected. So for them to accept, firstly, and to ensure that the transition was orderly and was seamless and peaceful is a remarkable achievement for the country and for all the leaders involved. And we hope that it becomes an enduring lesson for the rest of Africa and the world to appreciate that good things can happen. In fact, good things should happen in Africa more than anywhere else, because deep down we are a very peaceful people.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
Hey! Voila, dear.
Anyway, that should be us on this, on this part, and I don't know if the phoning part is still doable. Let me check. I can give it a shot, okay, and see if we can take 1 or 2 calls for calling it a night. But if you are still with me this moment, remember, you need to like the broadcast, like it, share it. Subscribe to my channel as well. And also subscribe to my, or should I call it our spare? No, is that called spare? No, I shouldn't use spare. I think it should be our other channel, a backup channel, which is a Mayegun's Diary Premium. See it. It's been a while that I shared with you the Mayegun's Diary Premium. It is our backup YouTube channel. In case if anything happens to our main one, we can have a place to always, use pending resolving any surprise or any shock. Okay. So thank you very much for your time. I'm going to take a short break now. And when I come back, okay, I think African Wahala dropped a link for us. Let me see if I can do the same. There is a link. If you want to subscribe to the Mayegun's Diary Premium, Mayegun's Diary Premium, not political. There you have it. You can help me go on there, increase the number, and let's keep it rolling. I've currently attached it to. I've attached it to the main broadcast as well, so that there are people watching from that platform right now. Indeed. So I'm going to go on a short break. When I come back, I'll take maybe 1 or 2 calls if the line will let us. And if it won't, sure, we can call it a night, okay? But listen, like the broadcast and then share it if you haven't done that already. I will be back in a minute or 2.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
You get it? Anyway, I have the first caller. Brother.
Yeah.
How
Good
are you,
evening, Dr. Mayegun. I'm fine from Nigeria.
I know. Good evening to you, Baba.
Yeah.
How is
yes,
Lagos tonight?
Lagos has always been rough as usual. Yeah.
Anyway.
Look, thank you for asking for that kind of for the question about Lagos. You know, there are so many things I really want to talk about. You've talked about environment in the.
Let's get to it then, because of our time. Go on, Baba.
You've talked about Lagos. About environment in the Niger Delta. Are you getting it concerning the oil spillage and so on? Right. My question now is: of all the Niger Delta states? Where is their commissioner of environment? What are they doing? At least every year they budget more.
If you ask me, now we'll go ask.
And they're collecting 13% derivation. So what are they doing? That is one. Now concerning the MTN data and also on, they've already increased their prices in Nigeria now. They've already increased. Something I used to buy like 20 gig for like 4,000. I think right now it's like 8,000 or 10,000 right now, or thereabout now.
Is that the way they are doing it? Like they are increasing the price, go, or they are just increasing your consumption?
Exactly. They've both the price and the consumption. They've increased everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something that can last you for like two.
Some people said that it's not even 50%. That's deceitful. They said the whole thing has increased, like doubled already. Like it's like 100% increase.
You are right. It's right. If you even say the text message that is always like 2 naira is now 4 naira, 5 naira or thereabouts, especially ending.
Wow.
So everything has gone up.
Wow.
Then for their base station now, MTN has over like 32,000 base stations across the country, and everything is being powered by diesel generator. Of all the 32 base stations. Then Airtel has 29,000 base stations. Glo has 16,000 base stations.
Wow.
So everything is being run on diesel. It is just now that they are trying to bring in solar, that's a solar inverter and everything. Upon that, the solar inverter can still not carry some major equipment. So they still fall back on diesel. That is one. Vandalizers will still go there and vandalize their properties.
That they even provide their own security as well. Like they send
provide
security
exactly
to protect some of those things. So what is Nigeria actually providing then? What is, apart from collecting the taxes, what is Nigeria providing in return?
Nigeria is providing nothing.
God damn it, man.
Nigeria is providing nothing. It's providing nothing. The only thing Nigeria is collecting is just tax. I could remember in 2008, MTN, after profit and after tax and everything, MTN declared 666 billion naira as profit. That was in 2008. Back then, 2008.
Wow.
So
16 years,
they are making
17 years ago. That's a long time.
Yes, I read it on Punch. 666 billion naira. That is their profit after they remove tax, pay workers, do all their operating costs and everything. Their profit, and 70% or 80% of the money goes to South Africa.
That's right.
So that is one. Now concerning Lagos environment, I'm telling you, there's nothing like I said earlier before concerning the Niger Delta. What are they doing? What is each state of commissioners of environment doing about oil spillage of their community? You cannot just put all the whole blame on the whole federal government. We know that we have useless federal government. But what are the commissioners of the states doing? What are they doing with the 13% derivation they are collecting every day or every month or every year? I don't know what they are doing with it.
It's every month though.
It's okay. You see. So people need to start going and start asking their commissioner of environment, what are they doing? Because I feel for those people, their source of livelihood is gone. Fishing and everything is gone. What are they going to feed their family? What are they going to send? I mean, the government we have there is
we
nothing.
even begin to look at the health implication of all of this. You see, there are some of these in Niger Delta right now, right, from record. They now have babies with birth defects. Some of their people are suffering from other health related issues as well. Because of what they are consuming, because of the air they are breathing in and all that stuff. But
asthmatic patients.
You get what I mean? There's no provision for anything health-wise for them. They are just existing. Many of them are never going to grow to the age of 60. They're going to die.
No, 60. 60.
They are going to die before 40. They ever clock 50, 60.
Some of them, before they even clock 40, 50, they're already dying.
Like
40,
I'm talking
50.
about something that is like so pandemic in the area. Health-wise, people are not paying attention to what the implication of this is for the larger population.
Exactly. Now, concerning for Donald Trump, I will not lie to you. It has read for the Nigerian government, especially Thiefnubu. And Donald Trump is a no-nonsense man.
Right.
But the thing is, you said in one of you that you can't really ban.
No, I don't want to. Because anything that Donald Trump's interest
so
is
I can't
covered,
really...
he believes that it is America's interest. So even if the rest of them want to go to places, that's your problem. Anybody can choose to further advance the America's interest, Donald Trump's interest is fine. Even though
it's fine.
And Thiefnubu is a deal maker too, you get? So to him, he can sacrifice all of Una also get whatever he wants.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't care. But the thing is, I'm not even sure, because the way I'm saying kind of Donald Trump, he really doesn't like this all these kind of leaders that are very, very power drunk, corrupt, and so on and so forth. But like he said before, if he's going to serve his own interests, he doesn't mind and make a deal. Because I don't know in Africa, for African, look at the president of Cameroon, 91 years old or 92, still ruling, shaking. So I don't know what is wrong with us in Africa. But the only time we have a very good president like Kwame Nkrumah and so on and so forth. Then of recent, I just saw the research too that the former president of Togo, France actually assassinated him. The day he said he's going to change from CFA to national currency of Togo, the next day they assassinate him because they know that it won't be under stronghold. So we have both internal crisis and external forces supporting the internal crisis, like all these British, France, and so on. With the help of these people, this stupid set of leaders standing in Nigeria, they could continue to sacrifice or mortgage our future as long as they will remain in power. So they'll become puppets for the Western world. So the only thing is we need to fight back. We need just to fight back. And concerning the one you said that I went to go and buy shoes for Kevin Badenoch, I'm telling you, that guy is a stupid guy.
Obviously.
Very, very stupid.
I mean, all of you that have been robbed by the Nigerian police, go and get his phone number. Maybe he can buy everything back for you.
He's very, very stupid.
He's a cloud chaser. He's only for lovers of Nigeria. Yeah.
Come and see the number of people they killed in Lekki toll gate here. Some people they drop their dead bodies. Over 90 bodies they drop. They won't cover everything.
Anyway, brother, let me take another one. I've got another caller on the line as well, okay? Thank you so much for stopping by. I think... Hello, sir. Thank you so much.
Hello, Maegun.
Alhaji Wahab. How are you, sir?
Koolu.
Yes, sir.
Koolu.
Yes, sir.
First caller, thank you very much for your intake. But first of all, let me start with the interests of Donald Trump, America, and Nigeria. Donald Trump is not a deal maker like what he said. If they put in and Thiefnubu in the same cell, prison cell, Thiefnubu will outsmart him. What likely as him? Every business Donald Trump dropped in his life, he wreck it. From New Jersey Casino and all of them. Let's put that one apart. If we go for the highest bidder, Thiefnubu will outsmart him. If they put them on one-on-one, put that one apart. But what I want to touch on tonight, thank you very much of those people on the queue, long line, everything. It's not new to the Fulani because that's how they brought them up over there. We keep on saying it to our people. What these people are bringing to the southeast, southwest, to all of us is new to us. How can we reject all these things? My father, your father, that father never go and key in any governor to go and take tuwo or rice or anything in Ikene. Why are we going to subject ourselves to this type of life? And the main thing tonight, Thank you very much, Michael. Sometimes I watch your message, but you're sure I was just laughing. People around me think maybe I'm mad. When you talking earlier on about those people that the Fulani, they master them, how to con Nigeria, they dupe all this money better than anybody. We all know that one since the 80s. We all, since 1982, we all know those one. Anybody from Lagos Island will tell you one thing. There's one man in Lagos Island borrowed a chain. They call it Baba Shehu in the 80s. I don't know, maybe Fulani or anything. If they rate anybody, they will release this man. They will not even touch him. And those are the one that wreck National Bank and wreck many bank in a Bank of the North, all those things in those days. Why those people never get arrested?
Well, now we know.
Okay. I'm coming to the point now. I'm coming to the point. I've been listening to your show most for the last 2 years attentively. Look at it this way. February last year, Punch newspaper published that Malami and the rest of people, they embezzle or they keep money, they save Nigerian oil money, $76 billion. They say no, it's not 75, it's 69. Nobody talk about it since then.
Not anymore.
One guy come to TV talk show. The guy said everything in front of everybody. Nobody say anything to it. You know why? Because Baba Thiefnubu is a thief. He have already cut a deal with Malami and everybody that Malami have already bloody fooled him that they will give them 25% of the money to Nigeria. Shike, no, leave it or you take it. That's why Nigeria is not going anywhere. It's not that these Fulani, they are brilliant, they are this, but that's the way they plan Nigeria. Since the 1980s.
That stole 140 something billion naira is enjoying his money right now. Shadia stole over 1.8 trillion naira. The court said that she should refund 950 billion naira since September or October 2023 up to this moment. She never refunded.
Nothing.
And she's never been called back to any court till today.
Maegun, Maegun, thank you for all your show. Even when you are showing that judge blasting that man in the courthouse in Lagos State, I was screaming. Somebody in my neighbor was talking, maybe I run mad or something like this. But it's just so, just hyper. Because the lady was blasting, I was so happy. But Baba Sokpe is going to end soon in Lagos State because there's many people don't like all this thing going on. But at the same time, let me end this thing so soon. When it comes to Muslim ticket, when people are laughing at Muslim, but please, I always listen to what some people are talking on this show. And I like what you always said. Most of the people that they reject Baba Thiefnubu in Lagos, they are Yoruba people.
Yes, they are.
Most of the people who vote for Obi in Lagos, they are Yoruba people.
That's right.
I have a nephew who is in Lagos State University. He has already told me then that he's not going to vote for Thiefnubu. They're going to vote for this. They're going to vote the right. I was begging him. I'm a Yoruba nation all the way. I don't want Yoruba to split. I'm not ashamed to say that. And that boy, he told me. He said Thiefnubu will never win. I said, okay. And all those boys, they vote for Peter Obi. I don't vote because I'm here in London.
Don't lie. We all saw that.
Most of the people who vote for Peter Obi are Yoruba youth. It's not about we are talking rubbish or anything. It's not obedient, disobedient. Everybody should pack their bag and go to where you come from. That's how we're going to win this war. I love Nnamdi Kanu. I hope they release him. I hope this thing start again. That's the only way. But if you stick to one Nigeria, Obi will do nothing. Obi can't do nothing. She can't do nothing.
Nothing.
Make you now listen. Obi can't do nothing. If the anchor Obi tomorrow, you can't do nothing. So the best let the revolution start. And everybody, if you say one Sowore can't do nothing either.
No.
The only thing, let everybody go their way. Thank you, Maribu. I love your show every day, man.
Thank you very much.
I love you. Thank you very much for your take every day.
Here is another caller, and I bet this must be Withdrawal from Canada. How are you, Baba?
Yes, sir. I'm good, Baba. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the show, brother.
Thank you very much for calling in. Please.
Yes, sir. I wanted to speak a little bit about that EFCC guy that lost his life. You know, I'm not a savage, and I'm sure many of us are not people that wish for people to lose their lives in such manners. Yes. But I'm also happy that it happened.
Wow.
It's unfortunate that guy had to sacrifice his life. You see, Nigeria is such a lawless contraption. It's such an evil entity that has destroyed lives consistently for 125 years. There was a similar story in 2021 in Abia State. There was this guy, Ifeanyi Ejiofor. The video is on YouTube. That's how ridiculous this stupid country is. Ejiofor was attacked at his house at 3 o'clock in the morning by GSS and some soldiers. When they got to his house, Ejiofor was hiding in the roof. So they shot his aide, they kidnapped his brother, his aide that was shot and killed. They dragged his body, put the body inside one of Ejiofor's car with the brother that was kidnapped. Then they drove away. The next day, that vehicle was found burned to the ground with the dead body of Ejiofor's aide. And nobody went to prison. And all the evidence is out there. It's literally on YouTube. Like the entire world can see this. So this is the type of country where
Ifeanyi Ejiofor happened to be Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer at the time as well.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. So if these types of blatant impunity could have been happening and nobody says anything, but now all of a sudden, the criminal EFCC organization, a terror group, if you ask me, that's what they are, a terrorist organization. They go and attack someone at 3 o'clock in the morning, then they get shot and killed. Yes, we don't want people to get shot and killed, but yes, we are happy that they got shot and killed. So that's my explanation.
Like,
and I just wanted
why would you still go on a sting operation in the middle of the night when you already declared it illegal, that you stopped it, only for you to now continue and then come back to justify it? It's only in a lawless place that happens.
Exactly. So for those people that don't really understand some of these, you know, I'm glad that I could share this story. I mean, just YouTube it, Google it, you'll find the stories right there for you to see. Thank you so much, Mayego. Thank you for your time, brother.
Thank you too, man. Thank you very much for calling in, okay? The African Wahala, Prince Adewale, right there from Canada. So thanks so much, everyone. And indeed, you know, it can always be eye-opening on Mayegun's Diary Political to understand the complexity of this contraption. And there's something too that we should always remember. When we say, may Nigeria not happen to you, nobody is actually really spared. Let's be honest. Whether you are on the side of Nigeria, you think you are riding on the tiger's back because they give you a gun. You are a soldier. You are a policeman. You are a DSS or EFCC who has all it takes to oppress others who don't have that same privilege. Nigeria can still happen to you or will happen to you. Nnamdi Kanu says, go and serve Nigeria and come back. You will come back in shame. That seems like a cause, but it's actually pretty much like a statement of facts. The thing is, it's a matter of time. Nigeria will always happen to Nigeria. There is a caller. Hello.
Nigeria always happen to Nigeria.
No. Oh, sir. You may need to mute the broadcast so that we can hear ourselves.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yes, yeah, me. I'm just going to keep hearing it.
Yeah, it's gone down now.
How you doing, Baba?
I'm very sorry, man.
No, it's fine. It's all right. Now we are clear.
There's a saying that when you live in a country, and then you're afraid to come out and say the truth. And then the authority in question comes out and tries to twist the truth. Then you should know that's a lawless country.
Absolutely, man.
Because a lawful country should come out and investigate and bring out the corrupt entity within the report that you have filed.
That's right.
To say you are facing an injustice. Exactly. That was the saying of Edward Snowden. It should be investigated and the corrupt entity should be dealt with. But when the corrupt entity is in itself coming out to saying they are the savior of humanity, then everybody should run it helter-skelter out.
I know.
Because everybody is in deep shit, man.
I mean, when people do something wrong, I say, oh, what we have done is wrong. Okay, we need to correct it. But you have to admit first that you are wrong. But in a situation where people don't see that they are wrong, there is no chance that they are going to make room for any changes. That is what we have in that Nigeria. You know, everyone is like the Lord of the banner, the Lord unto himself, the law unto themselves. And they always believe that they can become the victims of the same oppressive system that they are operating in. Nobody is going to be spared. No one is safe from a system that is so corrupt and corruptly managed. We are all like a victim to happen. We are still a victim to happen. It's unfortunate, man.
Because right now, you look at the ups and downs in the Nigerian society, and craziness is all over the place. And then you check each other out as if, is that guy really, is he really making sense, or is he crazy? And he too is checking you out. And he is saying to himself, I don't think that guy is correct in the head, though. I think he's actually insane. That's when you know that, man. You are, it seems the crazy people, they've taken over the asylum.
Yeah, now the lunatics have taken over the asylum.
The lunatics. So the doctors should taking me. Yeah. They should marry you before they start using them for experiments.
Exactly. You know, you better pick race now where you still can, because it's going to get to a stage that you won't be able to run anymore. And let me do my one last.
Exactly. Because the doctors will think they are in complete control of the asylum. They are the one treating the sick people. We are in control. But when the lunatics, when they take over the asylum, that's when you know that authority is upside down.
And that's exactly what
there's nothing you can salvage
right now.
There's no salvaging anything apart from just break it down and start from scratch.
Let everybody go.
But you know, in Nigeria, we all come from. They are trying to mend and patch. And
then hope.
Oh man,
that everything will be fine.
And then they say that everything is in God's control. God will help us in this country. And I look at them. You know, the minute they just mention that word, God will help us. I just look at them.
It's everything
and I say,
of God.
And I say to them, you see that God you just mentioned? I may have been taking you serious all along. But you see, when you put God into this situation that man is meant to handle by himself, the minute you bring that word God into my own conversation, that I'm trying to advise you,
see you as a dubious
and then I don't see you as a serious person anymore.
I see you as a dubious person, because we can have a proper conversation, intelligent conversation, all right? And then you suddenly just turn it into, you see, oh now God, let's just hope that God will do something. I say, are you being for real? You are a dubious person. I'm off, please.
And immediately they start saying, they move to the next line. And then, okay, believe it or not, I actually, I'm a man of God. I owe a church. that I heard. Thousands of people and their GO. Because an incident happened to me. I was in traffic. And this guy just bumped me from behind.
Right.
So we all got down. And we held up a lot of people behind us. Long line upon long line was encroaching onto us. And I said, I was expecting that he's going to say, oh, okay, it's my fault because you hit me from behind. This is my number. Or I'm going to give you 100,000 right now. I don't know how much it's going to cost you to repair this, but just take 100,000 right now and let's call it quits. I would have respected that. Even though if I end up repairing my car and it costs me 200,000, at least I'll know he tried. But immediately he started saying to me that let us settle this amicably.
Okay.
Well, the car is not all that damaged. And I said to him, I said, so I'm going to trust your word, your own word against mine. Meanwhile, I'm the one that I'm having the problem here. You just damaged my vehicle. I said, okay, you need to trust me now. Believe what I'm saying. Okay. Because whether you believe it or not, I'm a man of God. You see, the minute you just mentioned that, I went crazy.
Like, okay.
I just went crazy. I said, you know what? That word you just mentioned, that sentence you just said now, it seems we have to go together to the police station to sort this out.
I don't trust you. I'm sorry, sir. Please give me your card details, okay? Like, I'm sorry, I can't trust you. I don't trust anybody that claims to be a man of God in this manner. Because I'm a man of God.
I said, even though I was going to forgive and forget and just drive away because of the way you've been speaking all along. But now that I just mentioned God, you're a man of God, I should believe it or not. You control a lot of congregation. I just went mad. And I said to him, I said, you know what? Just make sure go in front, go in front of me, and I'll drive behind.
Follow you.
The next police station you see, just enter. Because if you don't, I'll be by your back everywhere you go.
Where you go.
I'll be taunting you everywhere you go. So just make sure you do the right thing. He said, oh God, what have we done?
You know, we were supposed to actually trust people who are genuinely men of God. Sure you get now. Because they are meant to be honest, very honest. But you have dishonest people who have abused their privilege. A lot of people have fallen victims of their deceitful tongues. Okay? And then they will begin to possibly threaten you with, you know, thou shall not touch my anointed. Now that one, they pay me most of the time, Baba. When somebody says, you know, thou shall not touch my anointed. It's like, I am also anointed. So if anointed is touching anointed, that means God no go vex with that.
Exactly.
Have you now?
Even if you just mention to me, you're an Alagio, or you're an Alagia, you've been to Mecca, what good is that to me?
You get?
I'm not interested.
It's manipulative.
That doesn't solve the problem you just caused right now, does it?
No, it doesn't.
And then you're telling me of your religious affiliation. That is where Nigeria is like is the way it is up now.
Manipulative. You know, people use that to manipulate others. And it's unfortunate though. Here you get. Because you see when you see genuine people who are men of God, they don't cheat people. Do you understand? They don't. They don't want to cheat people. But when it comes to some people who claim to be men of God in that contraption, they just want to manipulate people. They want to use it as a get out of jail card, kind of. She gets. They says, let us close our eyes to press it. No, I know they close any eyes. Let's discuss what we want to discuss. Quick, I beg. So no, let's close our eyes. I say, why? I can't discuss because I've discussed, Jerry. When you close my eyes and let us pray. Pray about what? Because Nigerians are the people who are going to start a meeting with a prayer. Then they will lie to themselves all through. Then they will close the meeting with a prayer. Say, Father, Lord, everything we want to discuss here today, as He's entering our right ear, don't let it get out of from our left ear. What do you mean by that? Because they will lie and lie and lie and lie, and they will close it with prayer. And then you go out there and see how shady they are. You know what I mean?
And then he said, Egmont, Ayoni, you know the Ayoni, when the Ayoni logo slogan started in Nigeria, maybe around there.
Or Keruba and Seraphu thing.
I just looked at him. I said, Oga, ayo buruku lele. Baba your buruku, Baba nonsense lenso.
Fumini insurance number you know?
He just went silent because he knows that all what he's been saying is not going to work with this man here.
So manipulative.
So it's about time we change our intellect, our understanding level, our etiquette. There is a lot that's gone wrong.
A lot.
But we need to accept. We need to accept that we are in a quagmire. We are in a dilemma. Because in psychology, if you don't accept that you've got a problem, you can never find a solution.
You can't.
But the minute you accept you got a problem, that's your first step into healing. Your problem is solved from that moment upwards. But you see that denial.
Problem, you will never psychologically begin to think of a solution. You know, what you have is going to be a coping and hoping that
it's a coping mechanism. Denial can go on from generation to generation.
That's right.
And they never stop the problem.
That's right.
And then it inflicts other people from generation to generation. And those ones will be having problems. And they don't know where the problem came from. Because they've been lying to them from generation backwards. They didn't tell them the truth. So nobody is ready to admit that, oh, my grandfather was at fault. He lied to us. Because if you say that, they will say, So you can see where I'm coming from.
I do.
It's the same system, corrupt, from generation to generation. Nobody is above problem. Nobody is above misgivings in life. That is what makes us human.
Anyway, thank you so
much. That is what makes us human. Thank you very much, Gary.
So
nice talking to you. I really enjoyed it.
God bless you.
All right. Let's give somebody else a chance to call in.
We are almost out of our time anyway. So I have one more thing to just add. You see, talking about something that people don't like to take responsibility. Okay. Look at this guy. He was arrested for skull mining, right, in Abeokuta. And according to those who arrested him, is harvesting dead people's skulls from different tombs and burial grounds. So there is a number of heads that he needs to get so that he will become rich. So there was a day on this program that I kind of said something about the pandemic of ritualists. It's always been there, but these days on social media, there's like nearly a day gone by that you won't see somebody arrested for ritual or this or that. I mean, okay, let's say there's never a week gone by that you won't see people arrested for mining skulls. They want to be rich. There are a set of people, especially in Yoruba land, that believes that they can become very rich, right, by cutting off head of their fellow human being or exhuming the head of the dead people. I call this a mental disorder, but it is also like a problem of living in denial of a thing. However, maybe it is time for us to begin to preach cremation. if I have the political will, I will kind of legislate on, forget about this religious nonsense that, you know, you have to bury the whole body, because what you have right now has become, the worse the country becomes, the desperate, or the more desperate people become. So I am going to advise that instead of burying your people in Yoruba land, maybe we should begin to cremate them. Just burn their body and everything and keep the ashes. This may possibly discourage people. Because when they say rest in peace, our dead bodies are not even resting. You face all the issue of Nigeria, all this problem of Nigeria. You can't die. The survivors are there with a digger and shovel to dig your grave and cut off your skull, because they believe they can make money or become rich. I haven't seen any billionaire in the Forbes, Forbes list that made his money from mining skulls for ritual. None. But right now, Nigeria is turning people into mad people. And our people are almost the most eats right now. Exhuming skulls for ritual. It's global. Social media is a global village now. So maybe it is time for us to begin to cremate our dead bodies. My mom, when we buried my mom in Udugbulu, guess what we did? I had to pay for concrete. This is not concrete slab. After putting the coffin in the ground, we had to pour concrete on the coffin. Concrete. So that she can possibly rest in peace, intact. Yeah, because you're not guaranteed that some people will not go on and dig her up to take her bones for money ritual. It is a pandemic. And when they know that the children are not living in the same town, and then who is blowing them? The pandemic of the economic destruction that they are facing. Your loved ones that you buried in the village or you buried somewhere that is secluded, you become the victim of the grave. They have a name for them. I think they call them the grave, the grave invaders or something like that. It is a pandemic, and there is no rich man in the Forbes list that made this money from exhuming corpses or cutting off heads. And with the level that Nigeria is going, nobody will believe you, because there are those assuring them that if they can get the head, if you can get this skull, if you can get that. It's unfortunate, but that is where we are going to draw the curtains this evening. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time again. And I shall see you tomorrow. I'm actually going to, because I think I feel better now, so I may be back tomorrow to continue our reading. But this time around, we are going to read something more local, something more relative. It's going to be The Blood on the Niger by Emeka Okocha, an untold story of the Nigerian Civil War. So here is the version, somebody else's version of what happened and how it went down. So you can join me tomorrow afternoon from 2 p.m. Yeah, if I don't feel too, under the weather. So we shall read another historical piece about Nigeria and how we arrived at where we are now and why it is ideal to actually preach a peaceful breakup of the contraption, or at worst, a renegotiation of the entire union. Okay. So thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I shall see you again tomorrow. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun dayari political. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ó fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.